That is a terrible start. Okay. Welcome back to, well, I was
This
about
was
to say
so
all things
good.
sports. Welcome back to the 46th minute.
All
What
sorts
episode
of
is this?
sports. Fourth,
Third or fourth? All right.
fifth,
We'll go with fourth.
seventh. Yeah, we'll go
Who
with four.
who gets the
If we're
fourth?
wrong, K Dot will tell us. All right,
Pop
cool.
up Katie face
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah. But
You guys fucking suck.
pictured it in my head.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So the last time we did somewhat of a preview of the finals. Well, only one of them. We basically focused on Euros. So let's go back to the Euros. Final happened. It was England versus Italy. Mauricio, what's your friend's name?
Daniel.
Sorry, Daniel. Sorry.
I created what we call a check on your British homie day, which is the day after the game. So all day I was texting him just to, make sure that he's all right.
Just see,
And he's
see,
good?
see if he was in
He's
good
good.
spirits.
Yeah, he survived it. Yeah, he's well.
It,
Right.
What
it
do you
was
got?
one of those games where it was a tale of, well, I guess 2/3 and a third. For the first 2/3 of the game, while Italy had some possession there towards the end of the first half, England was just dominating. And then, in true English fashion, they parked the bus, and then you can't do that. You can't do that. Everybody knows you can't do that. I don't know why that. Like, if you're playing like a tier 3 team, fine, park the bus. Great. Not when you're playing Italy. Like, what are you doing?
Definitely, regardless of the team, definitely not on a final.
Score more. You know how you don't lose? You score. You score a lot more than the other team. It was Look, Southgate blew it by missing a penalty. What, 30 years ago?
That's right.
And he blew it again by parking the bus. I don't put any of the blame on the English players.
I think there's a couple other things. Yeah, there's a couple other things that he didn't do right. But to me, this game, especially having a final with an early goal, minute 2, England's fucking scores, and you're like losing your mind because you're thinking
momentum.
Right. They're gonna have the ball, and they had the ball all throughout the first half. They moved out their lines and they were playing very, very deep. What I think Mancini did during the half is that he looked at the situation and he realized that England was playing literally all the way up, and there were holes in their defense, and there were holes in the midfield, and the strikers just weren't getting the balls, hence why they didn't score. Also, you have Bonucci and Chiellini defending, which is pretty much impossible to get through. One thing I would say about England, though, the way that they played Trippier as a right defensive mid, and then Kyle Walker behind him, that was fucking sick.
Genius, but they didn't use it. Genius. They parked the bus. Here's the thing, also, and this is true for a lot of sports, but I think especially in soccer or football, the beautiful game. If you are playing so far behind the ball, right? A lot of the times your feet are going to be flat. You're not moving. You're not, in your normal position because you're so dense,
so far up.
You're going to make mistakes because your feet are flat, because it's not like an accordion moving up and down. You're just staying like here.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened. They got flat feet. They got scored on. And then like a moron, like an absolute moron, you put all the pressure on your penalty takers.
Yeah. Before that, though, the second half starts and Mancini has already figured everything out with the England squad.
He had a bunch of pasta at halftime, got all those carbs.
Yeah, fucking
everybody
cannolis and
loaded.
shit.
Yeah, they got
drink some vino and stuff. We're good.
They came out of the gate juice. Like we're down 1-0. That ain't shit.
And on top of that, you have a fucking legend of a player, such as Leonardo Bonucci, is scoring a goal. Who is every time your captain or somebody who's been in the team like a legend, somebody that younger players like Chiesa respect because he is a legend. He has played I don't even know how many games for Italy. Every time a player like that scores a goal, it changes the entire state of mind of the entire team. The moment that Bonucci scored that goal, you couldn't stop Chiesa. You couldn't stop Lorenzo Insigne. You couldn't stop anyone. And then they moved up their lines, which is how they kept the 1-1 result. Then we go to extra time, right? Which was the exact same thing. All I'm thinking is that if they keep running the way they're running, they're literally gonna just die right now, because it was fucking high fucking intensity the entire game. In minute 118th, Southgate, which I believe is the worst mistake that he did that night, was to bring in 3 players: Sancho, Rashford, and who was the third?
He made that double. He made a double switch with.
Who was missed a penalty? Oh, Flesh.
Saka.
Who?
Saka.
Oh, Saka. Oh, Saka had been on already.
Yeah.
And Saka is super young. I have nothing against him.
Also, I will put this out there. He was never supposed to take a penalty.
Yeah, he's like 12.
He was kicker number 6. Never should have gotten there.
Right.
Yeah.
The reason why I have not a problem, but a concern with the bringing 2 players who haven't really had a lot of time playing the tournament anyway. You bring him 2 minutes before the penalties that you
didn't have a touch on the ball.
accepted. Right. You've already accepted that you're going to go to penalties, and you have a bad history with penalties. You bring 2 players who, while they might be mentally connected and emotionally connected to the game, they're not physically connected to it.
And
they don't know.
He brought them in 4 defenders and a midfielder right before they took the corner, right there at the 118th, 119th minute. In my head, I was like, oh, fuck.
This is how they lose. Yeah.
This is how they lose right here.
Yeah.
Little did I know that this would be how they lose 20 minutes.
At that point,
But
that point, the Italians were too tired to do anything, if I'm honest. They'd been pushing the entire game. But him bringing 2 players to specifically only shoot penalties when they are not physically engaged, maybe not even emotionally engaged, because in their minds they're going, well, this is not my fault. I'm just bench. Who gives a fuck? That is how we ended up with England missing 3 penalties by Sancho, Rashford, and Bukayo Saka, which ultimately cost them the tournament. And to be fair, they made it. I give him props because they made it to the final, and it's obviously evidently not easy to get to the final, but there were so many holes in the tactics that Southgate decided to implement. He pushed too much, then he parks the bus, then he wants to push again, so he doesn't have a straight head as to when he wants to do the things that he wants to do.
It's a really bad childbirth is what we watched. It was just Look, and the issue is, like, a lot of the pressure came down to the youngest players on the team. Where the fuck was Harry Kane 99% of that game? Where, like, the leaders of that team, if you want to call him that.
Well, he's a leader.
Yeah, Harry Kane shoot.
Yeah, he shot that first one, I think.
But that game should have been taken over by those leaders on the England side well before PKs. Like, it was. Yeah. You could see the chemistry between the young guys and the old guys on Italy, and how they kept working, how they kept fighting.
Like I was saying, man, as soon as Bonucci scored that goal, all the younger players just fired up. Like,
you don't like him.
You didn't see that.
I still have an issue with him.
You didn't see it from England, though.
Bonucci.
Oh, Bonucci is a legend as a defender. He's very dirty.
Oh, not even his play, just his I guess, like, his thought process. That issue with Moise Keane.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I
did find it funny that when he, like, fucking grabs Saka by the collar and just janks him down. I was like, well, he realized that
was
Saka is, like,
though, right?
Huh?
I think that was Chiellini that did that.
Chiellini, yeah, not Bonucci, sorry. And I was like, I know that he realized that if Saka breaks through, he's not gonna catch him. He's got at least 20 years on him.
Oh, yeah.
And so he did the right thing, which that should have been a red card in my opinion. 100%.
I mean, it's a tactical foul.
So the only reason it wasn't a red card is because he wasn't the last defender, arguably. But where
Saka was gone. Saka was gone.
It's an obvious scoring chance.
Yeah.
And look, and that I obviously have a huge soft spot for Saka, being that I'm an Arsenal guy. And he is the future of Arsenal. But Man, what a tough spot to be in. You getting fouled like that. Like his eyes had to be like this fucking big when he got around him. And then to be dragged down like that, for one, not to be a red card, for two, not for it not to be a penalty, because it was like millimeters away. And then,
it wasn't that close.
Trust me, it was that close. And then to be basically like he was phenomenal the entire tournament, and then to be the scapegoat, you know, because he was in the unfortunate position of having to take the 6 PK, which never should have happened, ever.
Yeah,
you should win in 5. And what is Southgate doing putting Saka in the 6 slot?
That'd have been a better option, right?
There had to have been, or somebody who like the pressure on that kid was through the fucking roof.
Didn't they say that Southgate went to him and said, like, you're going to take the 6th one, right? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, no, that is not a decision for Saka to make. That's a decision for a grown-ass man to make as your fucking manager to know, no, I don't care if I have to put a defender in there. He's not going to put as much pressure on himself as Saka would. And I think
Southgate should have kept in Henderson because he's exceptionally good at kicking penalties, but he took him off after 7 men to bring either Rashford or Sancho for the penalty. So that's a whole fucking mess.
Let's go into the fallout of this game.
Okay, hold up. Time out. Congratulations, Italy, for winning the Euro.
Yeah.
Before we get to like what are you going to talk about, there's something that not a lot. I guess what I'm talking about Italy. Italy didn't make it to the last World Cup, and so the process that they went through has evidently worked. And they went from not making it, not qualifying to the last World Cup, to not being European champions.
All right, let's keep it real though. They should have qualified. Like they just fucking choked.
Yeah, because they were bad.
if you choke,
they weren't bad enough to where they shouldn't have been at the World Cup.
They were bad. I think they were bad enough because they didn't make it to the World Cup. That's how bad they were,
and they fucking choked. But you're right. But big ups to Italy for winning.
Yeah, we were talking about them through the group stages. Like, fuck, Italy's playing really well.
It's looking good.
Watch out for Italy.
I kept saying slowly but surely they're playing a completely different type of game right now. And
I'm all here in the back like, it's coming home like a fucking moron, like a fucking idiot.
What's funny is that it was home, but then it had to go to Rome.
Yeah, home to Rome.
Yeah. The fallout though, James.
Hold on.
After you sent a text message, whatever.
No, I didn't send a text. So this will transition to the next part. When the final was set, I saw a tweet. I got to admit, I laughed in a Zoom meeting that I was in for work when I saw it. It said, "This final is racism versus racismo." Racism in Italian. And that goes right into the fallout of this game because 3 black players were the missed the penalties at the end. Sancho, Rashford, and Saka. Not that order, I don't think, but afterwards there was so much online chatter.
And just like chatter.
Yeah.
In pubs across all of Europe.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a couple here in the States.
Yeah, it's very similar and also just as sad, if not as bad, than when, you know how you say every time that France loses is a black player's fault.
Yeah.
But when they win everything,
it's like when they win, they're French. When they're not, they're African descendants.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how the world is. Like
he's Rwandan.
Sucks. Yeah.
And here's the thing. I will, if I'm a supporter of a club and a bad one, I will be very angry at individual players. I can name the entirety of the squad right now, but that wouldn't help. First off, Rashford sucking has nothing to do with race. Let's be clear.
No.
That's because he plays for Manchester United. I think we can all agree.
England losing has nothing to do with race.
Yeah.
The fact that it's first of all, it's a deflection. All this racist nonsense is a deflection, and that I hate England, but I'm going to blame it on this instead. And that's really sad that people have to do that. Yeah, you're scapegoating. Right. You're scapegoating the fact that he's black, right? Not the fact that your team imploded, right? And that's sad number one. Sad number two is that the real problem of that entire team is a white in Mr. Southgate, but you have to take to Twitter, you goddamn cowards, with your monkey emojis and dropping the N-bomb everywhere against these children who stepped up to play for your country. You're not fucking there. They've been training since they were fucking 6. So they
but it's easy to just see you.
They're not kids, by the way. They're not kids. They're not kids.
They are. If you're in your 20s, as far as I'm concerned, and if you're 19, in Saka's case, you're still a child. Like I
know, but you know how that's been used.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. You're a child. You are still growing up. You are still growing up at that point, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any questioning that. I don't think the human brain fully develops until you're 30, or in my case, until you're 40. But
still waiting.
The point is, like, leave them alone. Like, go internally and figure out what's wrong with you. But this team got you to the finals, and for the display of just it's not even racism at that point. It's just hate. Like,
here's a better argument. I am mad at Saka and Sancho and Rashford because they missed the penalties, not because they're black.
Right. What? I don't see what the two have. Like,
right.
And it makes me angry because usually I can be like, I can
hurt people, right?
But I can put myself in other people's shoes usually and be like, well, I wouldn't do that, but I can understand because I have nothing. I have nothing for them here. Nothing.
If like Rashford, Sancho, and Saka missed the penalties, right? That hurt the hearts of all English fans, whatever. Then you have the people who don't know how to deal with their emotions say, okay, you hurt us, we're going to hurt you in whatever way we can.
I see.
And this is the way that they choose to do it. This is the way that they've chosen to do it, like, for a long ass time.
It's not the first
I don't see it changing, like, unless something else drastic happens. But
I really wish Harry Kane had missed one.
I mean, if they did, they would probably, like, blame Sterling.
You've been hinting at that the entire tournament, by the way. I only picked up on that now that I saw what happened after the final. When you kept saying Sterling is the one carrying the team, but Kane gets all the credit. I didn't catch what you actually meant by that until this should happen.
Oh man, yeah, because it would be like Sterling scores, and then it would be like Harry Kane leads the team, and then, like, I mean, you go. I follow a couple people that live out in London on Twitter.
Did you see the Michael Dappa, Big Shaq? Did you see his skit? He had a one-on-one with himself where he's like the editor of the newspaper and like the guy trying to give him the story. And he's like, oh, well, Raheem Sterling had a hell of a game. And he's sitting there, he's like, no, it's all Harry Kane. It's all Harry Kane. And it's
a thing.
Look here. And this is coming from a white person. When I was in England, I didn't get that sense when I was there. Mind you, I was with a musical troupe. And it was not very diverse because we were an opera troupe and it was just like 6 white people. But I can kind of see now.
Hold on, fam. You in the opera troupe? So you sing too?
Well, I do, but no, I was there. We
just holds it, Mike.
No, we were fuck you. No, we went to watch, different operas around London. We went to the London Opera House and then
awesome.
And stuff. Yeah, it was. I did anyway.
I know this ends.
That trip was fucking wild. I did a lot more fun stuff later on in the evening. But I never got that sense, but I guess I just was with, a different crowd of people.
It just matters, like, your experiences, like who you're with.
Yeah.
Like
that to me it's really upsetting because I really like London. I really like England. And if that's the type of people that are there, it's shocking to me.
Brian, but here's the thing.
It's shocking.
It's everywhere. Not only that, like,
why? What?
Like,
would they? Yep.
I don't think I've ever told you guys this, but every 2 years I look at a place to go on vacation. But if you're black and you're watching this, you know what I mean. You know exactly what I'm about to say. Anytime you look for a place to go, you have to see like how racist that place is.
Oh no.
So like I'm like, all right, shit, I want to go to Greece. Like I see like it's like the white like town on the village on the side like of the mountain and shit, and it's like all the water, and it's like you see that picture all the time. It's like, oh, I want to go there. I look it up and I'm like, all right, I can't go there.
I would have think Giannis is here, man.
I will step up if you ever want to go to that place in Greece. I will be your token white man, and we'll go.
Oh no, that doesn't matter.
We'll go set them straight.
No, we can't set a country straight.
We can't
set a whole country straight,
brick by brick. But I just want to say,
pillar by pillar.
We're gonna be one of them fucking bricks.
That's fine. No. I'm willing to die for my cause. I do want to say Arsenal in their first game lost to Hibernian, which is a Scottish team. But before the match, they printed a jersey, a Hibernian jersey with Saka's name on the back of it, and hung it up next to Saka's jersey. So mad respect to them, because
that's awesome.
That poor kid. I don't think he played, and I don't blame him, because dude,
they're all still getting abused. Like Sancho came out today, like he finally put out a post today. Like, so you see all the shit that they're going through, and like
you just have to turn off your phone and go. I think this is a solution to a lot of if something like your boss is giving you shit, if the entirety of England's being racist to you, turn off your phone, go to Mykonos. You don't need a phone there. Just sip drinks.
They couldn't go to Greece.
just no, Mykonos you can go to for sure. That place is diverse as shit. But just don't. I know it's hard to do. Just don't listen to them.
You remember what Mario Balotelli said?
Those people suck.
And I brought it up like when he first came out with it. I got pushback on the pod, but this is like on the lost tapes. When Balotelli said that all the black players should go to Africa and set up a fucking league there. And it's kind of like every time something like this happens, we think about it and then it goes away, and then like, oh shit, the season's about to start again. So
let's move on. Yeah, this is gonna disappear the moment that
and it's gonna come up again once another thing happens, and then we'll talk about it. Move on.
Yeah.
All right. So
you know what I
have a question.
I think if I'm FIFA, I'm banning England from the World Cup.
No. That doesn't work, because like it's not like you can't pinpoint who it is, right? So
I'd ban the fans.
Yeah, of course.
Not the team.
But you can't like how can you actually like tell? Because there's been racist shit that's all over Twitter like every day, every second. And it's like is there like a task force or some shit to figure that out?
Honestly, either that, or if I'm a black player for the English national team, I'll say
because then after that, it's like, all right, if I choose to play for my country, and like I'm not gonna let someone take that power away from me. The same thing if like I decided to play here, then it's the same thing that like I have people in my family who were like military vets, and they were like they're conflicted.
This is just me espousing on what could be done, a protest of sorts.
Yeah, I'm telling you the thoughts that have already, like what they say, like nothing's new under the sun, right? So like everything you're thinking, somebody else has thought and like told me like their thought process, and I'm like, shit, I don't know either.
If I'm Gareth Southgate and I don't have a job anymore, but let's say I do have a job, the next team I run out is just all under 14 white kids that get killed 40-0.
No. I mean, shit.
Hey, shame on you, those English fans. Fucking shame on you.
Does anybody know who Yannis Papas is?
Yes.
He's a comedian. He just I just saw a clip of him talking about the Olympics, the Winter Olympics. He's like, I can't really get into the Winter Olympics because it's just a bunch of white people. And like I know that the games are not being played at its full potential. So why would I watch
That's
it?
fucking hilarious.
I
All
was
right.
fucking
So
dialed
So
out.
fucking
I have a
true.
question for Daniel.
Oh, Daniel, listen up.
Dan, you ready? The question for the guys is, do you think it will ever come home?
Buddy. I didn't come up with that as well, James. I'm sorry.
No,
love
I
you,
mean,
Daniel.
like being
The
honest,
Jor-
like
the-
I don't see England winning a major tournament. I feel like that was their last chance because in the
No.
World Cup, you also have all the other teams that they didn't play
Eng-
coming
England
over
has
too.
England has a very good chance in the World Cup, the upcoming World Cup. But I can tell you, if they don't win the upcoming World Cup, that the house is locked, the lights are off, there's no cars in the driveway, because you can't come home. It's not gonna
Nah, man. Like,
No, they were definitely gonna go to the World Cup. I don't see him being like an Italy
Yeah.
situation, but I don't think they're gonna win it. As to what needs to happen for them to be
fire Southgate.
honestly that because with the team they had, they made it to the fucking final.
Yeah,
And
but that's despite him, not because of him. He
right.
was
all
playing
right,
the
I have a
wrong
question. I have a
players at the
question
wrong
that
time
I'm sure
with the
I don't know.
wrong
I haven't
tactics.
seen anybody say it yet. So we've all been complaining about like Sancho not playing, right? Do you think that it was because of the impending like the transfer from Dortmund to United?
No, because here's the thing, and I forget who got injured. Maybe a Belgian. Anyway, so if you get injured while playing on international duty, FIFA pays.
Oh, is that right?
FIFA
Oh,
pays.
never knew that.
but it's not about the what FIFA pays what.
So like, let's say you're going from Dortmund to I don't know, give me a German team, Hofferschnudel. Then if that deal's in place and falls through because you're injured and now you can't play and now you can't have the transfer, FIFA pays Dortmund a fee. Or if he's already processed into Hofnerschnudel, they'll pay Hofnerschnudel.
How do you spell Hofferschnudel?
It's got umlauts. But that's how it works. So if you get injured on international duty, it's FIFA that coughs up the bill. So I don't think that's why. I think he just.
Nah, but it's kind of
I
like
think Southgate doesn't know what he's doing. They got to the finals in spite of him. They got to the finals because they had inspired youngsters who wanted to actually play, and then Harry Kane with fucking 40-foot howitzers, and then Sterling, he's an elite player.
I like how he played like the false nine at certain points. Where
And
he dropped
that
back
is
and
not
pick
even the
passes.
tactics. That's not Southgate. That is
No.
Sterling being like, oh, there's a space.
Yeah, it's just him improvising. Yeah,
Right.
I can't think of any other reason why England didn't win it other than just
But-
bad tactics.
But here's my thought though. Like
For-
I don't see England ever beating Brazil.
I do. You know why?
Why?
They're gonna hire Nuno Espirito Santo.
Espirito Santo.
Not if
Oh,
they
man.
keep Southgate and like
Oh, no,
have
they
the
keep
same
Southgate,
team. Like
if
let's
they
say they have the same team going into the World Cup.
Yeah, no, they're out in the first round.
No, I doubt that. They're definitely making. Oh, we can't say because we don't know who's going to be in their group. So
Nuno
Yeah.
Espirito Santo.
All right. So the
He's the
final
most
part-
underrated coach. Sorry.
Final part for the
Yeah.
Euros is the Euro team of the tournament. So I'm gonna read it out to you who made it. And Marisa, I know you had a problem with one of them. I think we all do.
Who?
I got a
What?
problem. Not necessarily a problem. I think some other people deserved it better than the ones who actually made the list.
Right. And Marisa, there's one person that you're gonna talk about that I gotta discuss with you. All right.
Sure.
So Donnarumma made goalkeeper. I was leaning towards Summer just because of all the shit that he did. And Donnarumma
Donnarumma.
won he won the penalty shootout and didn't even realize it, which was funny.
Yeah. I also would like to see Jan Sommer and that
Sommer.
list just because Jan Sommer doesn't have Chiellini and Bonucci in front of him.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah. I mean,
and
there could have been a shout for what's his name? The England goalkeeper.
Pickford.
Oh, Pickford. Yeah, I would have loved
Because
to see
they
Pickford
had
too.
a shutout the whole time, like for a
Yep.
long time. So
Yeah, and look,
um,
I think there were so many. Like, it was between Jan and Donnarumma, but the ice water in Donnarumma's veins during the finals was probably what put him over the edge, right? Like Summer's an honorable mention, but Donnarumma, he looked like 19 feet tall in that goal, give or take about a foot.
Yeah, but man, in the final, he didn't save him. They just missed.
Right, because
like
he's such a presence.
Summer's
But
play
also,
though, he made big saves.
but
Summer,
Donnarumma, they didn't give up a goal for like 6 straight games.
So
Who,
did
Italy?
Pickford in England, but it's kind of like,
But who
like
won?
if you have those
won?
other pieces around you,
I don't think just because you won, you should make it to a list. 100% no.
Also, who's got the best name? It's a tough race between Donnarumma and Summer.
I feel like
dude.
Summer because everybody loves Summer. So
I hate Summer. I'm sweating all the fucking time. Summer needs to go. I'm ready for fall.
I hate you so much.
Right.
I hate you so
Oh,
much.
fuck you.
the
You know you're
defenders-
sweating up there in Philly
you're
too.
fuck-
the defenders was Kyle Walker, Bonucci, Harry Maguire, and Spinazzola.
Spinazzola, didn't he get injured?
Yeah, I
Yep.
think.
Wow, they won without Spinazzola. That's how good that team is.
Yeah, I think he tore his Achilles.
Yeah, some of that.
I saw that shit pop.
Yeah,
Ugh.
like
a la McGregor. Yeah.
No.
In my opinion,
Yes.
Kyle Walker says for obvious reasons he's fucking amazing. He's fast. He's strong. He can tackle. Leonardo Bonucci, legend. I was not convinced about Harry Maguire at all, which is the reason why I will eliminate him. But I also I'm weird with that one because I don't want to make it an entire back three Italians, but I do think Chiellini needs to be there to serve Maguire.
Well, Harry Maguire, I think, is only there because of what he does for the offense of England. So if there's a set piece, if there is a corner, it's Harry Maguire is the target.
I'll just say that they had like
didn't Harry Maguire
extended
score?
period of time of clean sheets, which is why they had to have two England defenders.
Harry Maguire scored a goal to get them into the.
Yeah, I mean,
right. So
I don't know. To me, it just says like I can clearly see why Kyle Walker and Bonucci and Spinazzola are in this list. I don't clearly see why Maguire is and Chiellini isn't.
I mean,
but I don't know.
We know Kyle Walker can handle a gang of men or women.
So all right, and then we already talked about Spinazzola and his importance.
Spinazzola, yeah.
Let's move on to the midfielders.
Hold on, Spinazzola where's he going?
I don't know.
What do you mean? Where's
probably isn't going anywhere now.
No, I mean I'm assuming he is.
Already went. I think teams were looking at him because of how well he was playing.
Yeah. So you've seen him?
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's with Roma right now.
No, I know why he tore his Achilles.
Oh,
he doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play for Mourinho.
Oh wow.
Oh, holy shit.
All right. So let's move on to the midfielders. Mauricio, when I told you Pedri made it, you said that he didn't deserve it.
What did he do?
Nothing.
Oh, I got you. I know. I looked it up.
Please prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. Yeah.
So we both agree that Pogba should be in this team.
Yes.
I think it should be for Hoiberg or Hoiberg.
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 It sounds like a bad cheese.
The other midfielder was Jorginho, who
I
don't think any of us would argue that he should be there.
Jorginho class.
Yeah. So Pedri won the Euros best young player, but also let me tell you some more stats.
Okay.
The stats from the Euros. The most goals, Ronaldo had 5.
How do I turn him down?
Most assists, Steven Zuber had 4. Most free kick goals, Damsgaard had 1. Most key passes, Verratti had 14. Most chances created, De Bruyne had 16. Most successful dribbles, Sterling had 23. The rest of them are just all Pedri. Most accurate through balls, Pedri. Most shot creation actions, Pedri. Most goal creation actions, Pedri. So he had like, I don't see Hoiberg or Jorginho on any of these other three or anywhere else on this list.
Correct. And to play a point in your favor, Denmark made it way farther than Spain, which then will tell you that if you have more time play, you could do more stuff.
Yeah.
Now
and
that
he
you
was very accurate.
right,
Like he was accurate with his pass. I think one game it was 65 out of 67 passes in like one game. And I think that was the game that they lost. And because he played 120 minutes.
right.
Yeah. So like I remember it was like at halftime, they're like, yeah, Patrick's doing like amazing. He hasn't missed the pass yet. And then he ended up missing 2 like throughout the whole game.
But did he win though?
No, they lost.
Neither did Pogba. So
But
the winner doesn't matter.
What's his name? Luis Enrique. Did you hear what he said about Pedri afterwards?
Wait, hold up. Don't we think that Luis Enrique looks just like Joseph?
Yes.
Right?
Kind of. Like not really.
Yeah.
There was another guy that I just saw that I was like, he looks smack like Joseph.
I think
Game of
Joseph.
Game of Thrones.
Joseph, if you're watching this, do you wear the faces of other people?
All right. So,
it's not a
Luis Enrique said that Pedri was playing just like Iniesta.
Oof, big words.
I mean, Pedri's young. Give him a couple years, maybe.
But he's already had a big, like he's already plays a big part for Barcelona in itself. But then also you see what he does for the Spanish national team. If Spain had Ansu Fati,
they need to
would have been a lot better off.
If they had surrounded Pedri with better players. Like the team doesn't operate well for him. It's like Pogba on Man U as opposed to Pogba with France. I mean, Pogba with France doesn't have to be the number 1 or number 2
Pedri needs
guy.
his Xavi.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Pogba's so good because he is neglected, right? And you know what I mean? He's neglected defensively.
What did you say? Oh,
he is free to roam and do what he's very, very good at. We saw the same thing.
Man United, yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
We saw this with Pedri a little bit during the Euros where he is not, and they were playing some subpar teams who might not have had the best defenders to begin with. That being said, he was free to operate because there were a couple pieces around him, right? He wasn't their main target. So if you find that guy, in that case it's Pedri or Pogba, where you can get a ball and not be immediately closed down by 2 defenders and have some freedom to move, you're going to end up with 65 out of 67 completed passes. But guess what? 99% of the midfielders that were playing probably wouldn't have completed those had they been defended by nobody. So, I mean, the stats are impressive. The kid's good. Don't get me wrong. But to me, the most impressive person in the midfield in the tournament was Pogba.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you at all in that aspect. All I'm saying is this: out of the 3 midfielders, Pedri should be one of those 3.
I mean, but he got the award, right?
Huh?
He did get the best young player of the tournament.
Yeah,
so
he got that.
That's also a thing, and we know they do this. You're not getting doubled up on awards when we can give them to other people. So,
I mean,
yes,
but
I agree. I agree with you. He was very impressive. But they're like, we're not giving you 2 trophies. We're gonna give it.
So
he got into the tournament, and he also got the award. So he got doubled up.
Yeah,
he did get doubled up.
Hoiberg, or say it, Mauricio. How you say it?
No, I don't know how to say it.
No, it's Hoiberg.
Hoiberg is the one that I would have Dutch. Been replaced by Pogba.
Oh, it's Danish, man.
He's Danish.
Listen, so you and I, James, are both in agreement that
Danish, eat a Dutch.
Pogba should be there, though we can't agree whether it's Hoiberg or.
All right, Pedri. So you think Hoiberg deserves to be in the team more than Pedri?
Yeah, Hoiberg literally carried a team of no players and made it as far as it made it.
I don't think he carried them, but all right.
Who else? Eriksson was dying.
That's
it's true.
Up.
No,
it's fucked up, but it's true.
It would have been fucked up if he had died. He
was
dying.
Probably would have said that if he actually died. But
yeah,
I mean, he literally did die for a few minutes or for a few seconds, and then he came back. But
I'm sorry for only a few seconds then.
How cool is that, though? When I die, trust me, that's just going to be permanent. So,
please, Lord, if you exist.
No, for me too.
No. All right. So
No, well, yeah.
To round out the team, the 3 attackers were Chiesa. That's how you say it?
Chiesa.
Did you say
Chiesa.
Chiesa?
Chiesa.
Chiesa.
Si
Chiesa.
pronuncia
All right,
Chiesa.
Chiesa.
Okay.
All right. Lukaku and Sterling.
I have no problem with any of that.
Harry Kane's not on that list, but
Harry Kane can
bet
suck
you-
a fat hairy ball sack.
I bet you he would get all the headlines, man.
Hey,
No,
look,
I-
hey, you know who gave him the headlines? England, racist. But you know who didn't do that? Was the people directing the tournament, because they're like, Sterling was the all-star of your team. We
Yep.
can see that.
I would have replaced either Chiesa or Lukaku for Patrick fucking Schick. The guy that scored just as many goals as motherfucking CR7.
And
I
Schick,
wouldn't even be mad at that.
wait, was Schick the
Yep.
guy with the fucking half fielder over the goalie at the first game?
I think so.
From the
I
Czech
think it-
Republic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had the fucking 70-yard volley over the goalie.
I think
Look,
you're right, yeah.
But it's also about full tournament performance. So I
Sure. Well, if it's a full tournament performance, then it's Schick instead of Lukaku.
I know. Oh yeah. Also, Lukaku, another one of those players who just this tournament, like I forget how good he is because
Right.
he's so strong, he's so big.
He's
But
such a
he
fucking tank.
But he just like wherever he is, he just seems to be like the 8th man on the fucking field. And then he has shot like moments of brilliance. But this tournament, it's the same thing with Pogba. I'm like, fuck. That's why you're
remember that guy.
That's
right.
why you're worth $100 million a year. Like, that's why you like. I don't know what Man U's paying for, or what you're doing. Maybe it's England. Maybe England's toxic.
Maybe I think it's because they put like Bruno in that role that
Dude,
Pogba is normally used to.
why? What has Man U done? Do you see what Pogba just did for the French national team?
Dude, remember that smacker, the fucking screamer that he had? God, it was a beautiful goal.
All right, let's
Yep.
move on to
But anyway,
the other tournament.
that's all I had. That's all I had. I would have shout out to Patrick Schick. I would have put him
Yeah.
in instead of either Chiesa or Lukaku.
Yeah, the whole tournament.
Next topic.
I thought he
All right.
was the Schick.
That's fine.
That's
All
what I
right.
was trying to avoid, but okay.
Yeah.
Here we are.
The
I was sitting
other
here
final
here
in the
patiently
same
waiting.
weekend
Oh, yeah.
was Argentina versus Brazil in the Copa America. All right.
Wow, what a boring fucking game.
It was 41 fouls in that game, 9 yellow cards.
Good
Surprised
Lord, they
somebody
really
just
hate
did-
each other.
I'm surprised
Yeah,
somebody didn't
they
just
really do.
get clubbed on the field. Like,
They really do. Brazil
It
had
was
13
bad.
shots, but only 2 on target. And Argentina had 6 with 2 on target. And they won 1-0. Di Maria scored in the 22nd minute.
what's his
Fucking
first name?
great
I
goal.
forget.
Huh?
Who?
What's
Di Maria?
Yeah.
Angel.
Angel. All right. So I was very nervous, right? Because the last time Messi was in a final of a major tournament, the World Cup, I was also in Las Vegas. And I was in Las Vegas this past weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they played Germany.
Yeah. I was in Las Vegas.
You were feeling some super bad juju, weren't you?
Yeah.
Oh
But-
no.
I mean, I feel like I kind of exercised the demons a little bit because I was in Las Vegas again.
Wait,
But
you go to
only
the
issue
gym?
Exercise.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fucking idiot.
Oh wow. All right. So the only issue is this time I didn't watch the game. I missed it.
Maybe that's the key. Don't
Now
watch
I was
games.
way too wasted.
Oh shit. Yeah, okay.
Like, it was at the point where like I laid down at like 4. No, I laid down at 5. And then I like passed out. And then I woke up and I looked at my phone and it said 6. I was like, oh, bet. Like, hey, we can still go
We're
out.
good. Yeah.
And then they were like, nah, man, it's 6 a.m. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Sounds like Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, damn. All right. So I
Sounds
missed
like
the game. And
Vegas.
then like I had a bunch of missed calls.
It was a
And
boring
actually-
ass game, but
Well, I missed it, but
let me tell you,
I watched it over.
the results. I mean, the last 10 minutes were frantic,
Yeah.
obviously, because
Didn't Argentina park the bus?
Brazil, sort of. So here's why they didn't Southgate
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So when you park the bus, when I think of parking the bus, you have 10 people behind the ball and then somebody up front and you loft it to him and he doesn't get it because it's like the 60th minute and they're tired, etc. What Argentina did was they parked like the short bus and they had 3 or 4 people who were going after the ball. So like they would be able to get it up on the wings and the corners, etc. So like when they were trying to get it out, they didn't just have to loft it. There were a lot of times where they would pass through.
Actually,
Argentina,
I noticed that.
Argentina had some creation, even if they lost the ball getting up to pitch because they knew they had to get back. They were still like matriculating instead of just launching.
Yeah, so I guess it wasn't necessarily them parking the bus; it was more putting the bus in neutral. Instead of actually parking it.
They did what you're supposed to do. Like you don't concede the entire half of the field, right?
Yeah.
You're still trying to play.
Certainly not against Brazil. You shouldn't do that.
And look, I have never wanted a team I don't give a shit about to win something more than for Messi to win this game. One, because I'm tired of the Ronaldo and Messi argument. I think Messi's been the best player in the world. One, because he's not a little bitch. If you hit Messi and he goes down, he's usually getting right back up. And Ronaldo goes down and it's like his fucking giant, like his whole lower half of his body is broken off of him.
Maybe he should drink some Coca-Cola.
And he's going to do this for a hot second. Messi is like, he's like, what are they?
Just scratch to your itch.
Yeah, like he plays the sport. He never stops. Well, he doesn't stop and he wanders for a little bit, and then all of a sudden he's got the ball and he scores.
That's true.
He doesn't play the sport like a bitch. So I thought he's the best in the world for a long time, but everyone's like, Ronaldo has the Euro. Fuck you. But finally, Messi has his moment. He has his national. Pele couldn't do it. Maradona couldn't do it. Messi did it.
One thing I will add is in regards to the Ronaldo Messi debate.
Wait, hold up. Pele and Maradona won the World Cup.
I know. I was just gonna gloss it over, but
they didn't win the Copa,
wasn't.
And they didn't.
Who gives a fuck about Copa America, man?
I'm just saying,
it's a major tournament.
They tried and they didn't do it.
Let me explain. It's not a major tournament when you have Bolivia, Venezuela.
I'll explain why. Mauricio, I'll explain why in a second. All right, but here's the thing. In regards to Ronaldo versus Messi,
do y'all put laws out there?
People always try to debate them too.
Yes.
But here's why I always put Messi a notch above Ronaldo. If you look at them discussing the greatest of all time, you never hear Ronaldo's name.
Wait, which Ronaldo? Fat Ronaldo or
CR7? You never hear people say like is CR7 the best ever.
No,
you never hear that ever.
He's the best at some things. And
I know. I don't think either of these two are the best ever.
I know. Look, that's not what I'm debating here. All I'm saying is, have you ever heard anybody say is like Ronaldo's the greatest of all time? No.
Right.
But you hear that comparison when you talk about Messi, Maradona, and Pele all the time.
Also,
like you could throw in Cruyff and Best and like whatever, but
Thierry Henry.
You never hear CR7.
Sure.
That's
all I had there.
Wait,
like you can have your thoughts of like who's the best ever. Like that's fine.
It all depends on who
Ronaldo and Messi.
Wait, but
it depends on who you ask. Here's the thing.
Reason.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just real briefly. Portugal, for the most part, doesn't have the football pedigree that Argentina does. Right? So you're never who are you going to compare CR7 to in Portugal?
Who's that?
Nobody. Oh, okay. We're talking about Pele and Maradona here, right? So the pedigree is much higher. The bar set much higher for a Messi. So like it's usually people like in, I guess, Argentinian barbershops. I don't know what you call them. Corte pelo. I don't know. They're sitting around debating who the best Argentinian player of all time is. That's a discussion to be had. The best Portuguese player of all time, that list's super short.
Yeah.
And that's the point.
But like with the best Argentinian player of all time, it's either Messi or Maradona.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it's still Maradona because he did a lot of cocaine and still scored a lot of goals.
Okay, first of all, I'm just happy that I'm alive and get to see them both play, which I think is great.
Yes.
Also, we're
Agreed.
talking about the fucking final, not Messi and Ronaldo. So let's go back to the fucking
I
final.
mean, you brought up Ronaldo, but
Fuck
all
you,
right,
James.
I did.
Yeah, you did. All right, so
Okay, sure.
or it was Ryan.
I blame
It was-
James.
All right, so I mean, at the end of the day, in regards to Argentina finally winning, Mauricio, here's why Argentina winning like this is important, because they beat Brazil in the final in Brazil. That means a lot.
That's historic. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
that means a
surprised.
lot.
I'm
So,
surprised players didn't die leaving the stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Yeah.
didn't have that many fans there, but all right. So
Probably good.
It's just like we talked about the England, Germany's, type of games. Argentina and Brazil have hated each other for fucking ever.
Yeah.
I just don't think. Look, I was born and raised in Peru, and I couldn't give a fuck about the Copa America because it's always Brazil or Argentina. Why? Because they get to play teams like
Uruguay.
Peru, Uruguay. Okay, sure. They get to play teams like Peru,
Chile had their golden
Ecuador,
age.
Venezuela, Bolivia. Already, those are 5 teams that can't do shit. Now, mind you,
I mean, you look at
Peru,
the Euros.
Peru almost beat our Brazil.
Yeah,
They
but look
held
at
them
the
to
Euros.
1-0.
You got like what, Hungary and fuck Wales,
Yeah, but
Scotland.
it's not always
Yeah,
the
but
same final.
Tierney's on Wales.
It came back. Let's go.
All right.
Look,
so-
I'm only happy. Well, one, because Nick would have thrown homeless people's bikes had Argentina not won. But
Such an inside joke that never mind.
Messi needed it,
yeah.
Messi needed it.
and I needed it for Messi, so that Ronaldo Messi argument is basically put to rest. In
And
my
then
opinion.
I will shut the fuck up.
And
right?
then you'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Look, I win 3 times in one game.
Yeah.
Well played, sir.
All right. So
That's 3 birds.
I do want to
One
add this
Messi
part,
win.
though. So the age-old debate when people discuss like nowadays, like, oh, is Messi the greatest of all time? They say no because he's never won for Argentina. Now he has. So now the question that should be posed to all them same fucking people is, all right, is he the best now?
Now it's going to be. It's going to be. He's never
irritating-
won the World Cup. It's just going to
It's
keep.
fucking irritating.
They're going to kick
Here's an,
that.
ir-
They're going to kick that can down the road until he wins the World Cup or doesn't. So
here's an irritating
it's the last
question
time.
and a controversial question that if you're a Messi fan like James, might not like it. I would like to see Messi win a title in a different league, like Ronaldo has.
I mean, I understand that, but it's kind of like anywhere else, like I don't see players getting like knocked for like sticking with the team, like Kobe or Dirk. Like
Yeah.
it's more of a pride thing.
but no, here's
I mean,
the
I'm
thing.
a Bayern fan. There's nothing I love more than loyalty.
You're talking
So
about
it's kind of like
you're talking about Kobe and Dirk, right? But they
Mhm.
played against the NBA every year. Right? So if Messi was to go from
he plays against all those other teams every year too.
right, but day in and day out, the hardest league to play in, bar none, is the Prem, which
Yep.
is why it changes every year, which is why Everton is somehow third at some point, because all the teams are competitive, except for like one, which is Arsenal. But all the teams are competitive.
They're not all competitive, man.
I mean, if you go through the entirety of the table,
I will
there's
say
a
this: you guys are
chance.
most closest to each other. Like that's
But
fine.
I'm
And then you got
saying-
the 1 or 2 teams that are just miles ahead of everybody else.
that doesn't happen
Cool.
very often.
I mean,
The point-
Liverpool and City have been.
Right, but if you're playing the team that's in 9th or 14th, they're pretty close.
Yeah, we lost some fucking games this year too.
I'm just saying. I think if he went,
Here, I think I know what you want to say because it happens in the Bundesliga. Bayern has fucking 30 points ahead of the second place, which is usually Dortmund. Bayern
Bull.
also loses. Red Bull. Bayern also it's known for losing to teams like Union Berlin or fucking Dusseldorf for
It's
no
pronounced
reason.
Onion.
Onion Berlin for no reason. However, in the Premier League, because the competition level is so much higher, you're likely not to see the exact same 2 in the top or the exact same
That's
top
fine.
5 every
But-
year.
But
I
I'm
wanna see
saying
this
if he
part
can
too.
go,
Like-
if he can go win with, and I don't want him to go to a City or a
He's not going
United.
anywhere else now.
Cool segue. So Messi got a 5-year contract again.
Wait, 5 or 4?
5 years,
5.
and he's taken they said at least, like, you see people like say it's 50%, but the actual report is at least 50%. So it might be more.
Okay, so for the total for the last 9 years, Barcelona will have paid Lionel Messi $1 billion.
Billion.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
It was 645 last time. It's like
It
another
wasn't 645. It was 500 million.
Euros.
Okay, close to.
I'm talking about dollars.
500 million euros, $594 million.
Right.
Okay,
At
so
650.
and what about the now deal?
We don't know the now, but it's at least 50%.
You said it. You said it was.
I said it's at least 50%. Like that the thing that I sent you, like it's not accurate.
Very close to $1 billion.
And that's fair. That's fair. Hey, that's fair.
Look, get it how you
It's
get
a
it.
shit ton of money.
Whew. Dude, just reading that number, I was sweating profusely because it was 90 degrees at 9 in the morning, and I was in Caroline County, which is I like Caroline County, but it's so
Shout
far.
out Caroline County. Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's farmlands. There's like lakes and llamas. No, alpacas.
Yeah.
But I read that
Also,
number, and I'm like, he should be 40. He's Tom Brady.
No, he'll be 39 once it's over. But you're right.
He's Tom Brady. Like,
right,
and
so,
I can envision him still being very good at 40.
Yeah, because
he doesn't move a lot until he has to move a lot.
Right. And he could end up becoming like that Cam rather than the winger. And
Ansu Fati in front of him. I don't give a fuck.
No, Ansu Fati should be on the left already. Dembele should be on the right or not there.
Right. So like one of these things.
Then you got Depay and Aguero. All right.
That's potent, dude. Now, if you could only get some defense, you'd be fine.
I know.
You guys are gonna lose 6-5 all year.
Shut the fuck up. We're not gonna lose 6-5 because we're gonna have most of the possession. All right. So in researching like this deal and shit, because I knew I was gonna get a lot of
it's called flack. We're giving you flack.
A lot of flack, hate, whatever.
No, it's fine.
Did you guys know about the Beckham law?
The Beckham law. Tell me about it.
The Beckham law was introduced in 2005 and modified in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
It is essentially where foreign players can go to Spain.
I did hear about this. But
okay. Foreign players go to Spain and they essentially pay less taxes than they would have if they were doing anything else. Right?
But then
I think it was like they pay a tax rate of 23%. Rather than if they were to be like a regular citizen of Spain, they would pay like 47% in tax.
And then the government comes after them.
Right. The government came after Messi, Ronaldo, and Mourinho because of the fact that they used their, like, it was image rights, right? They had a company set up outside of Spain. They put that amount that they made from their image rights on their taxes in Spain. And then they said Messi defrauded Spain by 4.1 million, Ronaldo 14.1 million, and then Mourinho was like 3.3 million. So they updated it in 2010 to say that players, like, it doesn't matter anymore for players. Like, you still got to pay the 47%.
Which makes sense.
Right. So, well, I mean, for Spain, yes. For the clubs in Spain, no.
Wait, the clubs don't have to pay it. The individual has to pay it.
It's different now.
Unless the
players are negotiating their contracts that say like, hey, you give me this amount of money per year after taxes.
This is why.
Here's a simple solution. No, I want.
No. This is what all the players are doing that come to Spain.
Right. You know what they have?
They have leverage.
Very good lawyers.
And leverage.
I wish I had a good lawyer.
So, what was it? Yeah. So if you made 10 million in Spain, right? Currently, you would only get 5.3.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
I mean, I pay 50 fucking percent taxes. I feel like
Mm.
I'm not a billionaire.
but I do want to say this, like it's going to be trouble for all three of us. There's a new law that was introduced in January of 2020. I don't think it had that big of an effect yet just because of COVID, but Italy just passed its own Beckham law.
Which is
So now you'll see an influx of players that are like cash grabs instead of playing like anywhere else. They'll go to Italy, play for Juve or AC Milan or whatever. I can see AC Milan having a resurgence because of this.
I mean, it's dude. Where do you live right now?
Delaware.
Okay. It's basically.
For
I
the
mean,
next 2 weeks.
well, yeah. Welcome back. I can't wait to see you more often.
for all of you Russians that don't know what Delaware is, it's a state in the United States that you don't pay taxes.
So basically, every
No.
corporation in the United States incorporates in Delaware
No sales tax.
because, well, sales tax and corporate tax is very low. Basically, what they did is called a race to the bottom, and they got to the bottom the
What's
fastest.
everything about race with you, man? Jesus.
Well,
God.
I can't run. I'm fat, dude. It's a race to the bottom, and that, dude, it's a good policy while it works, right? So, like, great, Italy did it. There's going to be a cash grab for people to go there, but if you look at least
They'll modify it in 10 years, man.
if you look at it in the States, there is some consideration if you're an NBA player, an NFL player, like, all right, I'd rather go to Tampa because
Or Vegas.
right? But a lot of players still want to go to LA, still want to go to New York, right? Because that's where they want to play. That's where the big teams are. LA taxes are nothing to fuck with, right?
Yeah.
New York taxes are definitely nothing to fuck with. But if you are at the point where, let's say you're 24 years old, right? You're about to sign your mega deal or your first huge deal, right? You're not too fati, and now you're on the trade market. Do you want to go to Italy and play with Jose Mourinho? Or do you want to go if Man City offers you a little bit more money and you got to pay a little bit more in taxes, but at the end of the day, you're going home with $300 million fucking dollars? You're probably going to go to Man City. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter.
There's players and players, man. There's players who are really, really good, and they ask for the money, which then they will end up somewhere Italy where they don't have to pay as many taxes. And there's players like Thomas Müller.
Players that went to China.
There's players that went to Saudi Arabia,
well,
to fucking Dubai.
The players that go to China are fit.
Carrasco went over to China.
Yannick Carrasco, yeah. And then you have players like Thomas Müller, who's never gave a shit about money. It's gonna die with a fucking Bayern jersey. So yeah, but it all depends on the player.
It depends on.
Same with Messi.
It's just like like anything else. Like if you could go, I could probably go right now and make 3 times what I'm making, and be fucking miserable, right? But I'm at where I'm at because I love my job. I love the people I work with. There are people like Carrasco who are like, I will go to a country I don't speak the language. I don't know the people. My family aren't there.
For like 3 years.
I can make $300 million.
Yeah.
Great. That is a career choice. That is not a soccer choice for sure.
Right. There was an influx of players that went to China for a couple of years just because they were paying an exorbitant amount of money. But then
Iniesta himself did it.
Yeah, because he's at the end of his career.
Yeah, like that. Like he went over there.
Who's gonna say no to a fucking juicy contract when you're already way out? You know what I mean?
Well, that wasn't the only part though, because Barcelona had a deal with I think the sponsors of Vissel Kobe, the club in China.
Yeah.
And also the fact that
I believe it's
so you already had a relationship there, right? And then there was another fact that he said the same thing with Xavi. He was like, look, whenever I leave Barcelona, I'm not going to play anywhere else that can potentially, like, I would face them because I'm not playing against them.
Right.
So that was a big part of it too. And like, you know, Xavi went to Saudi Arabia and he'll probably be the coach of Barcelona next year. But going back to Messi, like last thing, remember we talked about is going to be a 50% at least wage reduction. His current wages is 70 million for 2021. That was his annual salary. So he made 70 million last year. He's going to cut it in half, so that'll put him at like 35.
Here's
at
the only thing. The only thing that
Neymar
I'll
made
say is
36.
that here's the only thing that I'll say, and we can move on to the next thing, which is also about Barcelona. Surprisingly, we didn't know about the
Who
Messi
makes
deal
these fucking
until
lists?
I know, right? So biased. We didn't know about the Messi deal until after how many years it happened?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was a minute because of the leak.
Right. So we
Nope.
now may know that he's only taking a 50% cut, but to play the devil's advocate, it could be actually more than that, or it could actually be the exact same thing.
Yeah, he'll be
Only
at,
time will tell.
he'll be
But
at Miami FC before.
But
we find
remember,
out.
like, when you think about it, PSG was offering him more to sign there.
Sure.
So
Sure.
it's not like he wasn't going to make money wherever he went.
He doesn't.
Like,
Speak,
it's a crazy amount of money, but
he
he's the
doesn't
best
speak
player in the
French.
fucking world.
He doesn't speak
So,
French.
all right. So moving on to transfer news / rumors. We already talked about Messi signing his 5-year deal. But contingent upon for that to happen.
Oh Jesus, we're done with it. Continue.
For that to happen, we need to offload some player wages, and the biggest one right now is Griezmann for Saul. The swap with Atletico Madrid, they said Griezmann for Saul plus 15 million is what we're looking for. Griezmann currently makes $46 million a year, or 46 million euros a year. Getting that wage off the books will help tremendously.
Will help pay Messi.
Not well, shit. He makes more than Messi would make now.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Cool. I'm cool with that. Allegedly, because we don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
it turns out his contract was just 40 million a year plus whatever Griezmann is giving up by leaving. That's in the contract there.
But we've been trying to go after Saul since 2013 when we had the first right of refusal when David Villa went from Barcelona to Atletico Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been looking after him for a while.
Villa's been off the team since 2013.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He hasn't played a professional game in like 5 years, man.
Yeah, because then he went to the MLS after.
Yeah.
But so Saul is quote unquote in the Genie Wijnaldum mold. And we were supposed to get him, but then he ended up going to PSG. So this is like two birds with one stone. Get rid of Griezmann's contract, bring on Saul.
Grab Saul.
We actually kind of needed in the midfield. Then it's not like we were going to be hurting that Griezmann's gone because we got Aguero and Depay now. So it's two more strikers. Right. So it's all right, get rid of Griezmann's contract, bring in a midfielder that we kind of need. And boom.
Busquets needs some help in the midfield for sure.
And I just want him to retire, to be honest with you. Everybody sees the decline. And it's all right, if Busquets has a bad game, we're not winning.
Yeah.
And he's had a lot more bad games this year than he's had in a few years.
He should put his biscuits in a basket and go home.
Shit, just bring over Renato Sanchez. Or fucking Conte.
Actually, imagine Conte. That'd be awesome.
We need a better CDM.
So, side note, do you see Saul as a fit to replace a good fit to replace Busquets?
No, I don't know how that's gonna work.
I think Saul will be a nice add-on to Busquets. I don't necessarily
feel like Frankie De Jong might be a better fit for Busquets' role, but at the same time, Frankie could do so much more everywhere else too.
He'll allow Busquets to move in a smaller territory, right? Because Saul's so he can cover much more ground. Busquets' biggest problem is he's old, right?
Yeah,
older.
But
older, and he's not I've seen him lose the ball way too many times. But that's because Busquets is one of the best dribblers.
But he doesn't have a good outlet.
Surprisingly, yeah.
And he was one of the best dribblers. He's lost a step. He's like having an old defender, right? If you have an old center defender, what you do is you put a young, talented, fast fucking center defender right next to him so that when your guy misses a step and can't track the ball, you have somebody else coming in behind him. And that is the only thing I can think that's going to help him. He'll be able to move in a smaller portion of the field and be effective.
We got Longley and PK behind him. PK
Right.
is old, and I think PK needs to retire as well and become president.
You need him to PK it up and get the fuck out of there. I agree. Let's go.
You guys feel like we are not seeing enough young and upcoming defenders anymore?
Not really. Like, I feel like
who's the dude from
looking at the Bundesliga
that went to Man City?
There's a lot of young French defenders that
they're all gonna end up in the Premier League.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
on Man City for some fucking reason.
But what I'm saying is, like, when you talk about young and upcoming defenders, there's a lot of them in the Bundesliga, like a lot.
I've noticed, but like the last young
shit, half of them are French.
Yeah, the last young defender that I saw I thought it was worth something at that time, and I understood the hype behind him. It was the Ligt. After the Ligt, yeah. I mean, he ended up being a fucking
Koulibaly too.
Koulibaly's older though.
I know he's
like 30. He's like 30.
Watch, he's 29.
Did you forget?
Another
inside joke.
Damn, I didn't even realize this. I was gonna say Nathan Ake, who plays for Man City.
He's also not young.
He's 26. I mean, he's not old.
He's 30. You're right.
Yep.
Koulibaly's 30. Koundé from Sevilla.
The fuck did you just call me?
I said Koundé from Sevilla.
He's
getting a lot of attention.
And
Militao.
Speaking of Man City defenders, because they always have a solid defense, they have a kid named Luke Mbete Tabu, who's 17. That kid is going to be a fucking force.
Ooh, I have not seen this.
He's like 19 feet tall, fast, strong. Like he reminds me of Koulibaly.
Also, Todibo, who we sold to Nice.
To Nice, huh?
Yeah.
Wait,
Taribo's a young. He's like what, 19, 18 now, maybe 20.
He's 21.
Did you guys send anybody to nephew or just niece? Anyway, let's continue.
Wow. God, go kill yourself.
So,
wait, no, I have another thing about defenders though.
Okay.
Is Varane leaving fucking Madrid?
Yeah. All right, fine. Fuck it.
See what I did there? You see what I did there?
Yeah.
I'm the king of business, baby. Let's go.
I mean, the reports now is that Varane's going to United. Madrid will have lost their two starting center backs.
That's crazy.
Ramos went to PSG officially. Varane is supposedly supposed to go to United. They have agreed on personal terms, and apparently they're not that far off with United, and I mean with Madrid in terms of like the transfer fee, which would be kind of crazy.
It's big because they just lost their two not only starters but also their best defenders that they have right now. I guess Militao is still in Madrid. Yeah,
Militao's there, and they also just got Alaba.
There. They got Alaba. They're still gonna be missing a center back though.
No, they run two.
But isn't Alaba gonna take the left back position?
No,
or he's gonna go CB.
Yeah,
right. Oh, Alaba can play whatever the fuck he wants. If I'm honest.
Yeah, that's true. But,
need a striker. Yeah. Alaba's there.
Yeah.
Alaboom.
All right, so let's move from Alaba's current team and let's go to Alaba's old team.
Oh, look at you with the transitions, boy. Let's go.
There has been reports that a certain player from Bayern Munich would love to go to Madrid as well.
Yep. So,
his name is Lewandowski.
For those who don't know me, my name is Mauricio. I'm 31 years old. I've been watching Bayern Munich since I was 10 years old. That makes 21 years of me watching the same team that I love and adore, and I will give my left nut for it. It has also been exactly 21 years since we keep hearing that players who have decided to stay in Bayern Munich are going to go somewhere else, such as Madrid, such as Chelsea. I mean, there's the whole Thomas Mueller is going to Chelsea summer news that literally happen every fucking summer. However, this is not the first time that Lewandowski has expressed that he loved to go play at Madrid. Lewandowski's contract is up in 2023. There's no doubt that we are evidently going to want to renew him. There's also no doubt that we're not going to pay him the money that Madrid is going to throw at him, because simple as that, they got more money somehow than we do. Huh? Somehow, dude, we owe no one, and somehow we don't have as much money.
They got the fucking bank behind.
Every other team that is not Bayern, I'm sure, is doing somehow something else to get money.
Fair.
Anyway, yeah, to be fair. Anyway, Lewandowski is a player who is very comfortable playing for Bayern. He knows that he's needed, which is, I think, a good position to be in if you're a player. That I've said it many times that it is good that we have Lewandowski, but it's also concerning that the moment that he goes down, we don't win the Champions League. Mm-hmm. So Lewandowski's contract is coming up in 2023. This is not the first time that he's talked about going, not just Madrid, but specifically Madrid, not just anywhere else, but specifically Madrid. Can they afford him? Obviously. Is he going to want to leave at 33 years old instead of wrapping it up at Bayern, knowing that he'll have perhaps another shot at the Champions, which he will also get with Madrid, of course. I don't know if he'll get used to the culture. Lewandowski's only ever played in Germany. I don't know if he will ultimately like it. He doesn't strike me as a player that it's after the money. I think it's truly he respects the organization, and he thinks that for his curriculum and his career, he wants to be part of that organization, which I respect. The only one thing that I would say is that if Lewandowski is actually looking to leave, there's not much that we can do. We're not known for stopping players from leaving. We never say no if you want to leave. You know, we part ways. We're not going to hold you. We're not going to trash talk you or anything like that. So in a year from now, if Lewandowski leaves to Madrid, I'm not surprised.
I don't know if Madrid's going to go after him because, you know, they have their two targets, really. Mm-hmm. Like, so number one, they already have Benzema.
Right.
Who, like, he's not Lewandowski, of course, but he's not bad either. And he's very underrated. I could, like, of course, you know, they have a love affair with Mbappe. They really want him. And if they get him, they sure as hell ain't getting Lua too.
Right.
Other than that, you got what? Haaland is still at Dortmund for now.
Yeah.
But that could change. But I do want to say this one last part.
Whoever offers his dad the most money is where he's going.
Mauricio, I respect the way Bayern runs the club, like more than anything, more than any other club. I just love the way that Barcelona plays more.
Sure.
Like the fabric of the way Barcelona plays. If I could have that along with how you guys run the club, perfect team.
Okay. I'll just send you a jersey. Just switch over.
No, actually, I still have the shirt up there.
Hell yeah, let's go.
All right. It's still in plastic too.
I burned your scarf.
Like it's fresh. All right. So
love it.
We got Ryan, this one's for you. Remember how I talked about how we need to reduce the wage bill?
No, I don't want anybody.
The number 2 team.
Nobody wants any. I don't want anybody from your team.
Oh yeah, you guys want Pjanic.
We don't.
You do?
We don't.
Sorry, sir. Like it's between y'all and Spurs right now.
Cool.
We're battling out for it.
Send them to Spurs.
I know, and it was weird because y'all just signed Partey. Like so,
Thomas Partey.
Let me explain to you the Arsenal news that I care about. Transfer news wise. Obviously, I fucking hate that bottle. It makes that weird like noise while you fucking drink it.
That's why I muted myself. I did it for you.
I could hear it. I wish you'd mute yourself the whole fucking time. So Arsenal is in desperate need for midfielders and defenders. We have no need for anything up front. We have Emil Smith-Rowe. We have Laka. We have Aubameyang. We have Pepe. Mm-hmm. We have Saka. Like going forward, we're going to be fine. Mm-hmm. We need to stop the ball going inside of our net, right? That way. So
I think that's how the game works.
Yeah. So from Brighton, Ben White, defender, solid, cheap. And now because I am I don't know if you guys know this about me. I hate Tottenham.
Yep.
I hate Tottenham.
Yep.
We won the league at White Hart Lane. But they're going after James Maddison. the Leicester defender, throw all the money at James Madison. He's young, he's talented, he's fast, and guess what he can do? Defend in the air, on the ground. And then I don't know how much money we have, but my assumption is we have a lot. We got to bring Odegaard back for I don't know if you guys watched the game that we played against the Scottish team, but our goalie tried to kick the ball, our backup goalie, and instead of kicking it, it went into our goal, which is not good. It's not what you're supposed to be doing.
That's
Madison's
like
not that fast.
I think that's the opposite of
He's
football.
not that fast.
Who?
Madison.
I mean, he's fast for a guy who's like 6'7". Like he's not a speedster, but
He's 5'9".
is he?
Yeah.
Ryan, he's you.
So I'm
not fast and he's short.
I'm
He's
6'5".
6'7". I was like, no, he's not.
I'm
He's not Peter Crouch.
I am 6'7", and I run a 4.2.
Son.
Hey, he ain't seen me on the field. But also, and I can never pronounce this fucking guy's name.
It's Mauricio, dude. You've known me for so long, you don't know my name.
I'll just call you Philly. Awar.
Yeah. Our
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've really
We have been trying to get him for 2 years now, but it looks like, look, and this is true across the board. If you have a solid midfield, you can have a semi-questionable defense because you would expect your midfielders to come back, right, and assist.
Awar is still in Lyon, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
he's very good. I like that kid.
look, for like 150 million euro, we can solidify the midfield and kind of solidify our defense. Look, we're gonna be porous in the back. Like if we play against a team,
but you shouldn't do. I remember telling you this. You should go after Nathan Ake. 100%.
He's on Man City. He's too.
I know.
Too much money.
I know, but you could have afforded them.
No, we need Koulibaly. We need
Koulibaly.
Man, I would.
And
Do you know how many Koulibaly jerseys I have? I have every single one.
And you slept on Upamecano. Upamecano would have been fucking great.
But
where did he go?
Bayern.
we need what we need to do is we need to spend.
You need to take long legs. Long leg? Yeah. Come on.
What we should do, honestly, because it proved that it worked for us last year. Our best players last year, Saka, Emil Smith Rowe, kids. What we need
Gabriel, dude.
And we need to spend little money on a lot of young players and just throw shit at the wall until something sticks.
You need to be like Bayern or
dude, let's not forget that Arsenal is notorious for having the best, one of the best, if not the best academy. So
I know.
Why are we not investing in that?
No, but here's what we should do. Put those kids in, but then also let's go get some other kids, like some 18, 19-year-old that has potential.
You know how much we paid for Pedri?
And just put them in the line. And look, if they work, they work, right? We don't it's not a magic elixir that you just fucking and then you pour it out and then it works.
I hate that part though. Like, because
we've been trying for a decade. We haven't had a good defense.
I know.
It's like 2012.
You're not saying what I'm about to say, but like it gave me that type of vibes. I watched a documentary on the quote unquote pipeline from Africa to France, right? We already talked about like the discussion of if you play for the French national team and you do good, like you're French. If you don't, you're African, right?
I saw a different documentary. Okay.
All right. So I saw that one too. All right. So in that documentary, they were discussing that the players that got picked up when they were kids, they were like, oh, you kind of had potential. Like, I'll take you to France. You can play for a tryout. And if you make the team, you can have millions of dollars, right? That's the dream that they sell. So then they take all these young kids, like 8 to 15 or whatever, take them over to France. They get the tryout. If they flop, they just leave them there. Like, so they're just sitting on the street.
Right, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
I know. Yeah, no, I prefaced it by saying that. Like, that's not, I know that's not what
I see why that leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But what I'm talking about is established 19, 20-year-old players who may be on like the second squad for, a team in Germany or a team in France, and
Jude
just being
Bellingham.
like, take a $3 million flyer on a kid who could be very good, because
Develop him. Just develop him.
what we've been doing hasn't been working.
Commit to do it though.
We're trying to hodgepodge our defense. And look, we have some good defenders. Tierney's a fucking villain when he's healthy, and when
What country you play for?
he's not playing for Wales. Like we
Plays
have
in Scotland. I know.
we
I
have-
know now.
we
I
have
know. I will never forget.
we have a Koulibaly.
James has a post-it on his computer.
Yeah, it's the one that he puts on his camera when he walks away. All right, guys. Look, I have no hopes for Arsenal this season. Like top
Fat a penny, man.
top 7. No, like you remember me. It was top 4 every year. And
Yeah. I
And
got
I'm-
a trophy that said that.
I know. I'm looking for a upward progression, right? I'm looking for the defense to get a little bit more solid. I'm looking for our midfield to create.
Who's your
And
defenders?
Dude, who even knows anymore? I don't know who's healthy, who's on the team, who got cut. Like it's not good. It's really bad.
With that being said, boys, we've already wasted people's time for like 3 hours. It feels
Yeah,
like.
I know. Look,
Definitely
hey,
hour and a half.
think.
If you're an Arsenal fan, as opposed to these two fucking cunts, stay strong.
Shit, we got to stay strong too.
Thank you for everybody who tunes in and listens. And I want.
Oh, and we fucking loaned out.
Oh,
Saliba.
shut the
He's
fuck
gone
up.
for the whole fucking year.
We
Great.
lost who?
William
Who?
Saliba,
Who the hell is that?
an up and coming defender. We were like, man, just go
Oh,
away.
shit. Well, I mean,
All right. So shut the fuck up, TV. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast.
like and subscribe, please.
Oh my god. Yes, like and subscribe. Tell your mama, tell your grandmama. And also, we're gonna continue the 46-minute podcast. We're gonna talk about soccer, whether Katie likes it or not. We're still gonna do it.
Oh no. I
if-
have an announcement for that.
Okay,
So,
before
the
you
next video after
you
this-
do that though, I just want that anybody who's watching this video, and if you feel that you're a fan of a league that we don't talk enough about, let us know so that we can do our research and maybe talk about it on the podcast. Leave us a
shit-
comment.
Talk shit about it.
Or we'll talk shit about your league. It's one of the two. But let us know so we can do our research and include you, because we want to get more engagement from you guys. James.
All right. Well, number one, we know our 3 leagues, and then we know PSG is going to win, League on. And then he knows fucking Juve is going to win.
If you're a
Fucking
PSG
league. So,
fan,
What are we talking
don't leave a comment.
Yeah,
like
everyone
like,
like PSG fans. Yeah.
come on.
Unless you're
I mean,
if you're a Donnarumma guy, fine.
Hey James, before you were taking a shit, remember? Me and Ryan were talking about so PSG just gonna win everything because they bought everyone, and they were like, PSG just bought Fight Island in Abu Dhabi, and they're gonna start breeding fucking UFC players now.
They bought the entirety of China, all 1.6 billion people,
Basically.
and they're gonna
They bought
start
fucking
tryouts
everything, man.
immediately.
They
bought
own
everything.
Tesla. Yeah.
All right. So
Elon Musk
So-
is a PSG spy.
Yeah.
when does the Prem start?
Next month, August 7th.
Okay, and Mauricio, Bundesliga.
Bundesliga should be the 2nd or 3rd week of Agosto? I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you right now.
All right, cool. So the next video after this one should be a reaction video of K Dot reacting to one of the best footballers of all time, or we'll see what we come up with. I know he'll hate every second of it, and then that'll
It's
make
gonna
us
be
all
torture.
happy.
Hey, we
Right.
have to spend hours with him every week. You can hate. He
It's
can
birth
hate.
control time.
No. All right. So,
He can hate 1 hour with you, and we hate 3
Yeah.
hours with him every week.
right. So that might happen. And then
And that-
after that, we'll do the previews of all 5 leagues. We'll spend most of the time on our leagues because, like I said, PSG is winning and Juve is winning. So it's
I don't
relevant.
know. Watch out. Roma incoming.
Thank you so much to everybody who listens. Tell your grandma, tell your grandmama, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
PSG is winning.
Love you all. Later.